Still Up Sports Preview. We're previewing Falcons versus Broncos, guys. We are going to be talking about what to look for, what to pay attention to, things that maybe we don't want to see. We'll talk about that real quick. But before we get into that, guys, I'm Cody Chapa, your host from Still Up Sports, normally hosting late night sports talk Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1:30 a.m. Mountain Time, starting this week. And besides that, we do UFC watch-alongs. We do watch-alongs to other sports too. But besides that, we are also talking Broncos. We're talking Broncos Falcons right now. But please do me the favor before we get into this, like, comment, subscribe. And as always, drop your comments and questions below. I always get to every single one of them. I try to be here for you to engage late night, and we're always here for you. Besides that, guys, here we are right here on YouTube, 135. I have a soft goal, guys. I have a soft goal of hopefully hitting 200, hopefully, before we hit Colorado. I would love to hit 200 or so before Colorado. I've already said it before. When we hit 500, we are going skydiving, guys. So if we can hit 500, we're going to go skydiving, and it's going to be fun. But yes, do me the favor. If you're watching this after the fact, you're watching it now, please like, comment, subscribe, and drop your questions below, please. It would mean the world for me to help get this word out there that we're trying to normalize late night sports talk. Besides that, you can see us right here. This is the YouTube page. We are on YouTube. We got all kinds of cool stuff. A bi-weekly show where we talk, random AFC West BS. We have a little late night, background ambience type, playlist. We have interviews, and we're going to keep stacking interviews. We have 24-hour shows. We're going to maybe do those down the line. Maybe we'll find a way to do those again. We have late night sports talk and, of course, watch parties for all types of sports, guys. So, again, we're at 135. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If you want to engage, I will engage with all your comments and questions. Hey, hope you guys are having a great night. What's up? Hope you're having a great night. Hi, hope you're having a great night. Yes, we're going to be talking some preseason Broncos football, but we talk all sports at all different periods of times during the year. We talked about some of the World Cup stuff at one point. We did Stanley Cup. We talked basketball. We'll talk anything. But thank you for your support, and I'm trying to reach 200 before November, before we go to Denver, because hopefully maybe we can hit 500 while we're in Denver so we can go skydiving in Denver. Because when we hit 500 subs, I'm skydiving, guys. I'm going to jump out the plane. I'm Cody Chapa from Still Up Sports, right here, trying to normalize late night sports talk. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. It's great to see you in the chat. Depending on where you're at, it may not be morning, but I hope you're having a great day. And if you enjoy sports, whatever it is, let me know what it is. I talk all kinds of sports. But besides that, we're going to be getting into some of the things that I have right here for my notes, because we're going to be talking Broncos real quick. What is the time here? It is currently 2:55 Pacific time here in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the Still Up Sports studio, Still Up Sports late night sports podcast. We normally do a show at Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1:30 a.m. Mountain Time, which would be, 12:30 a.m. Pacific time. As soon as I can get home from work. Today we had some delays and we pushed the stuff back, and we actually went live, and then the internet cut out, so we restarted. So we're back again, no issues, and we're just trying to normalize late night sports talk. Hey, baseball is great. I live in Las Vegas. I go to Aviators games, Las Vegas Aviators, all the time. And we got the Athletics, the stadium being built. Really crazy looking roof that they got. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I ran track, played a little bit of football. I've always respected, everyone, especially baseball players. Baseball players, you guys got to really be good at what you do to get deep in that industry and in that sport, for sure. It's really commendable. And so a few things real quick, guys. I'll knock out some Broncos talk real quick, and we're going to keep this short. This is going to be a 30-minute video. And again, as always, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what's on your mind. We're going to engage for about 30 minutes. Worst case, we'll go an hour. We're just here trying to get this discussion out, because it is the Broncos preseason. Oh, hold on. It is Broncos preseason, so we do have to keep our eye out for some of the stuff coming up with this game. Game over. No, my headphones are going crazy. Hold on. There we go. All right. I hope you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can still hear me in the chat, because my headphones are not working. So I need to know if you can hear me. Because if you can hear me, I can keep going. But the headphones aren't working. So I need to know if you guys can at least hear me. Because I don't need to hear myself. Okay, good. All right. As long as you guys can hear me, we'll take out the earbuds, because it does not want to work. There's something wrong with them right now. All right. So Bo Nix, guys, Bo Nix may have broken his ankle. There we go. Headphones are working now. All right. So yeah, Bo Nix may have broken his ankle in the AFC divisional playoff game against the Buffalo Bills, and he has been, he's not going to play in this game. We're going to get into the injury updates first. He's not playing in this game. It makes sense. This man broke his ankle. He's been coming back from this injury. Why would you want him to play in a preseason game where it's going to be on a turf field? And in Atlanta, Atlanta does not have, it's not like as bad as some of these other turf fields, but there's been all kinds of controversy, especially with the World Cup being here in the States, of these NFL programs that are for some reason afraid to just commit to full, real clean grass. Instead they rather make their players just play on turf. And then there's plenty of science showing that playing on turf is not good. It's not good for the injuries. It's not good. Bo Nix isn't playing. Luke Wattenberg, your starting center, out. Alex Forsyth, your backup center, out. Gavin Ortega is getting your start. The undrafted free agent out of Weber State. So, good job, Gavin Ortega. You get the start. Let's see, another thing. No Waddle, no Mims. Let's see, no Palcho, no Alexander Palchevsky, and then no Nate Adkins, guys. You're not going to have any of those guys out there in this game from how it sounds. Besides that, it sounds like your starters are only going to get like 15 plays each. So don't expect your starters to get too much run. So you got to really be locked in and paying attention and watch the tape after to see what you're looking for. One thing that you can look forward to, guys, and that's the injuries. We're already moved off to the injuries. That's all you need to know about that. Besides that, some guys did stay. They stayed in Denver. They did not fly. It's better for their rehab and their recovery not to fly. So don't worry about that, guys. And yeah, post game at 1:30 a.m. On Saturday morning, 1:30 a.m. I will be going live with Jay Weaver, Orange and Blue Network, and we will be recapping this preseason game and what we see. Hopefully a lot of Jonah Coleman and a lot of Jonah Ellis, because we are big Jonah fans and we love both Jonahs. Both guys, great running back, great outside linebacker. We love them. Let's see. All right. So no injuries, Davis Webb. Let's see. Yeah. So that's one thing you can enjoy, guys, is you can pay attention, and there's going to be some Davis Webb play calling, guys. And you get to really sink your teeth into whatever this Davis Webb apple is. And this is his first time as a play caller. He was in Vegas for what was going to be a head coach meeting, guys. He was in Vegas for what was going to be a head coach meeting, and he chose to just come back to Denver. He could have been the head coach there. And I like to tease Jeff about that from 401 Raider Jeff, our AFC West fool, that we talk to every 2 weeks. We talk to him, and then, Steven, our supercharger, friend. We talk to them every 2 weeks, only because we can only handle our division rival for one show every 2 weeks. We can't handle each other that much. But besides that, guys, you can sink your teeth into and try to really see what Davis Webb likes to do and what his approach is to play calling, and how he's going to do, how he's going to approach speeding up this offense, utilizing these receivers better, maybe trying to get more done. Thank you. Guys, if you're watching, do me a favor and subscribe. We're here at Still Up Sports trying to normalize late night sports talk, one stream at a time. We always do that, one stream at a time. And, We talk Broncos. We talk everything, though. We can't wait for the Olympics. We're going to talk Olympics. So just stay tuned. But yeah, guys, Davis Webb, excited to see what this offense is going to look like. We might go for an hour, honestly, because there's so much to talk about. Davis Webb, he can make this offense very clean, very efficient. There's been so many things talked about. People need to know he's not installing a whole offense. He's just doing some changes. And I think they were positive changes in terms of making everything more efficient and making it run a lot more clean and pretty. We'll see how it all plays out and looks, but I'm actually very excited. Besides that, guys, you got a QB backup battle. Both QBs are going to start for half a game. So each QB gets a half. No one is going to, we don't know who's going to start technically, but, based on the unofficial, official, depth chart that the coaches love so much, Jarrett Stidham is technically your backup quarterback. So maybe he'll get the start, but we'll see. Either way, both guys get half a game. Sam Ehlinger, Jarrett Stidham, we'll see who really pans out and plays out and can take advantage of that opportunity, because a lot of people are very high on Sam Ehlinger. I'm very high on what I'm hearing. I just need to see it play out more. And yeah, guys, there we are, 136. We're trying to reach 200 before November, before we go to Denver. Because maybe if maybe when we're in Denver and we work our butt off, maybe we can hit 500 and force ourselves to go skydiving in Denver. That'd be fun. I'd love to go skydiving in Denver. Here in Vegas, it's only like $150 to go jump out of a plane. So I wonder how expensive it is to jump out of a plane in Denver, because it's only $150 to do it here in Vegas. Yeah, guys, backup QB battle. I'm really excited to see it, because a lot of people are disappointed with Jarrett Stidham and, the AFC West. The AFC Championship. I understand that, but you need to understand the situation the man was in. And the Sam Ehlinger talk is great until it isn't great. So we need to see if he truly is what he is. That's why, when we get into it, and we're going to get into the offensive stuff soon in a little bit, but Pat Bryant, I want to see all this talk keep going. I want to see him dominate. I want to see him continue doing what he's been doing, that we've been hearing, that's been so great about him this preseason. So I'm really excited for that. Besides that, guys, this QB battle, another thing to think about is that these guys, Jarrett Stidham this got to be his final chance, final year with the Broncos, I think. I don't know if you have a guy like Sam Ehlinger pushing and knocking on the door with him this year, who's to say that there's another young quarterback in the future that can come in here and push out Jarrett Stidham or in the future. So just keep that in mind, guys. I'm excited to see both. I'm excited to see how they both operate this offense. Even though Bo Nix isn't playing this game, he will get to play against what sounds like the Packers and the Vikings. So that's going to be fine. So just stay tuned for that when Bo gets those starts. We're not going to get to do live watch-alongs against these games. Well, with these preseason games, but we will do live watch-alongs for the whole season, of course, minus games we're at and stuff, like that. Besides that, guys, we're going to move on to, let's see. Yes, of course, we got some players staying in Denver. It's better that they stay there. Nothing to think much about that, guys. It's better that some of these guys stay back in Denver. So if you don't see some faces on screen, you don't see some guys out there on the field or on the sideline, you're wondering, where's that guy? Why isn't he out there hyping that, or dapping that guy up? It's because some of these guys stayed home, and there's nothing to think about much with that, guys. All right. Yes, again, so I did talk about it, turf. We got to worry about this turf in Atlanta. It's not as bad as some of these other stadiums, but that's probably why Bo didn't play and isn't going to play. It's because you don't want his very first bit of action back on a turf field. Come on, at least you can control the environment next week when he comes back. So there's nothing much to think about with that, guys. Let's see. Yep, starters are getting 15 plays. I already did write that. Yep. All right, I did write that down. We did get that. Starters are getting 15 snaps, I think, offense and defense. But you may see certain guys play a little longer. But, who knows? All right. So we're going to start with players to watch on defense, and then we'll do players to watch on offense. All right, guys? I said we'll keep this to 30 minutes to an hour. We'll see. We'll see what we keep this to. I'm fine with going either way. But yes, guys. So players to watch, guys. On the defense specifically, Riley Moss. I'm excited to see Riley Moss, guys. Keep your eye out for Riley Moss. We've been hearing great things about his technique. We've been hearing great things about like what he's been doing to change stuff. He went down to Florida. He put some work in. Yep, guys, come subscribe if you're watching. And of course, like, comment, subscribe. Drop a comment, question below. We'll answer it, get to it if you're watching right now or after the fact. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, besides that, guys, Riley Moss, I really think that with Riley Moss, the man's really developing every year, going into each year. And I think Moss is going to play himself into a new extension, but probably not with the Broncos. The man's going to be expensive. And I think he has a chance to be a legit number one and go shine and grow and make a name for himself somewhere else. I hope he gets his ring here this year and then can move on, because I would love for him to go get that ring, go get that big payday, and go get that starting number one cornerback role and then dominate for years to come. That's what I want to see Riley Moss do. I think that the man's potential is still untapped and that he could go on to win a Super Bowl this year. He could go on to easily get the bag from any team and go lock down a half of the field just like Pat Surtain could and be in that league as a starting top 5, top 10 outside corner. He could really take a step still. I think Riley Moss has more potential to grow and gain and get better. And I want to keep an eye out for Riley Moss and the technique, and we'll see how much of it has grown, because we've heard the radio guys, we've heard the YouTube guys, we've heard all these, the journalists, we've heard them, the beat guys, we've heard them all talk about, Riley Moss is really changing the technique, turning his head around on these passes. So he's not going to get no PIs, pass interferences. I really think that, that's something to keep an eye out, is just keep an eye out on Riley Moss. Besides that, guys, we got inside linebacker depth, old or young, vet or a rookie. That's my question. Well, we'll see, maybe Alex and Justin out there for 15 plays. In my opinion, Torian York, Corene Reed, Lavelle Bailey, Red Murdoch. What are you guys going to do? What are you going to do to step up and show that you can be ILB3, that you can be able to hold it down when they need you to, blitz, when they need you to, stop the run on 4th and 1? What do they need? Are you going to be able to hold it down when they got the running back or, the tight end coming out? You're going to be able to hold up in coverage. These next few games, keep an eye out for that inside linebacker room depth, because I really want to see someone in this room step up and take it, make it yours. Because if you make it yours, you can be the Justin Strnad the year after or a year or two after, and just keep growing and developing in this team with this team. And that's almost the same with the edge and the outside position with Q Robinson and Jonah Ellis, because we just want to see these guys dominate. And it sounds like this has been happening all training camp. And I'm sorry, guys, you can't go wrong with being excited and to watch the extended playing time of these young inside linebackers, because you really need an inside linebacker, whether it's a young guy or Corene Reed or Lavelle Bailey or, who are, vets, or if it's a young rookie, you need to get these guys and you need to get them out there. You need to get them out there and you need to get them playing time. You need to get them reps, and you need someone to step up and look competent in the pass and in the run, so that you got a reliable option if you have a guy go down and a starter go down, whether it's Strnad or Alex. And that's knock on wood. You don't want that to happen. But just keep an eye out, guys, for these young guys at ILB and Edge too. Just because Edge is going to be big too this year, of course. Keep an eye out for Edge, because these guys have huge potential. The Edge guys have more opportunity and playing time probably in the future, but these backups are one play away at ILB. So just keep an eye out for that, guys. Besides, let's see who's going to step up on the D line. Innie has been playing great. Malcolm Roach has been playing great. We've heard Savion has took some steps. We got so much depth going into these later quarters. The third quarter, fourth quarter. Those Atlanta offensive linemen are still going to be facing some serious heat. And this is something I love about Broncos preseason football, is especially when the Broncos have great D line depth, because they're always just blowing through these young, tiny, beat up young offensive lines. It's crazy. I'm really excited to see who can step up and again claim that spot, make it yours. Sounds like Innie's been doing that. There's so many matchups and ways you can send up that defensive front with your talent and what they all do. They do so many things, and they all can do so many different things as well. That it all works together. And I think that with this interior D line, guys, I wanted to see who steps up, and no matter what, I think you're set. It sounds like you're set no matter what. And the pressure has not been a problem, and that's great. I was only worried about, with JFM stepping out, maybe a dip in the run D, but I'm not even worried about that at this point. So that's us talking about the D line, guys. And then besides that, let's see. We got two more that, man, if I'm missing something, guys, comment after the fact and let me know. We're going to maybe we'll try to keep this short. And this is going to go out as a separate video in its own playlist because it's a pregame discussion. And I'm going to make a separate thumbnail for this after the fact. So we'll change the thumbnail after the fact. But yeah, guys, so we're going to move on. And if there's something that you think I missed, let me know. We talked about injuries. We talked about things overall to look out for. Of course, starters, getting 15 snaps, the turf in Atlanta being why Bo's probably not out there. Let's see, players staying in Denver because they didn't want to, they were told not to make the flight. And it's just better for them to recover. I want to see one more thing is we got to prevent injuries in this, guys. I don't want to see more injuries stack up in this preseason game. I would like to see a preseason game where you're going through mostly unscathed because we've had some injuries already stack up. I don't want to see any more injuries stack up, guys. We need to really start getting healthy as the season approaches, guys. It's getting here real quick. All right. Back to the defense, guys. Jahdae Barron's growth. That's a big one because it has sounded like there's been a lot of down days, but also some up days. And I think that maybe the down days are overshadowing the up days for sure. But this is his chance to really, change the narrative against live action. And I think Jahdae's only going to keep growing and getting better. Though I've been one to say I would love to see them just let him be flexible, let him play flexible and free like Texas did at this point. But what happens will happen with Jahdae. I think no matter what, he still makes this team. I don't see him not making this team. Not with the investment and not with anything else that they have put into him, guys. I think that, he's not as sticky as Riley Moss. That's the issue with Riley Moss is that he's way more sticky. And with Jahdae, you want to see more steps and more growth. And Jahdae Barron needs to take that step. And again, he's in a prime position, guys, to take that step. Hey, guys, my name's Cody Chapin with Still Up Sports. If you're watching, like, comment, subscribe. We're at 136 on YouTube, trying to reach 200 before we go to Denver in November. We really want to maybe hit 500 in Denver just so we can go skydiving. That would be amazing. Go skydiving in Denver because we're going to skydive no matter what when we hit 500. But besides that, guys, we're going to move on off of Jahdae because these are things you want to watch and keep an eye on for sure. And we'll keep an eye out for Jahdae out there. He should get extended playing time. I would want him to get as many reps in this game and the preseason as possible. I want him to get more and more playing time. I want to see him get as much time. He's been playing and getting reps at inside and outside. I don't know. While I said I wanted them to let him play free, I don't know if that's even that. I just want to see him play all over the place where you need the matchup help. All right, guys. Players to watch on offense. So you let me know if I got anything wrong there with defense. Players to watch on offense right now, guys. Pat Bryant. I said it already. You want Pat Bryant to step up. You want Pat Bryant to continue this trend of what he's been doing at camp. Back shoulder, passes, deep bombs, contested catches. We want to see, yards after catch. We want to see Pat Bryant continue what's been happening in camp in preseason, because if Pat Bryant can take that step up, you got yourself a bona fide wide receiver 2, 3 in the future, maybe even a 1. Yep, I see you guys. I see you guys watching, feel free to like, comment. Let me know what's on your mind. We answer comments and questions here. So, answer, like, comment, question, I got you. Anything on your mind about the NFL preseason, let me know. If there's anything that you want to talk about when it comes to this NFL season, let me know. I got you. And we will talk about it. Besides that, guys, and we're only going for about 30 minutes to an hour. Might go less than an hour. We'll see. I'd like to maybe round off around 30, 35 minutes just to keep this short, because it's not going to go. This is not a late show. This is not a late show. I'll make that clear. This is not one of our late shows. This is a pregame preview. And normally in the future, we'll be doing these before the game. Then we'll do our watch alongs, and then we will immediately go on to react to it after the fact. The preseason's a little different. We don't do watch alongs to the preseason games because I work on Fridays. But we will be talking about this stuff right after the game, late at night, tonight with Jay Weaver from Orange and Blue Network. So stay tuned. But yes, guys, Pat Bryant, again, we want to see him really. I'm not thinking you need to play him too long, but I want to see him play a little longer than the starters, of course. I want to see him get plenty of reps. And you're down, no Waddle. I think you're down Cortland for this as well. So one thing I'm excited for, and I didn't write it down on here, is young wide receivers. Dane Key. There's a few other guys that I'm slipping their names, but there's always some young wide receivers that can really make their name, whether it's on special teams and on offense. These guys are going to get extended playing time. These guys will get extended playing time, and with all this extended playing time, they can use that to their advantage to get not only tape out for themselves and for possibly other teams if the Broncos cut them, but some of these guys could find themselves on the practice squad if they play themselves good enough into these situations. So I'm excited about the young wide receivers. Besides that, guys, yes, Pat Bryant, of course, again, trying to keep, he falls into the young receiver category, but I'm talking these UDFAs that are playing most of the game. Yeah, I agree. The categories, he's right here. Yep. All right. So the freaking cat. There we go. All right. So the categories, we knocked over our keyboard, but we're going to try not to break stuff in this stream. If you go back to our other last live stream, guys, our last late night live stream, you can see a broken computer screen in less than 10 minutes. So that's fun. We've managed to go almost 30 minutes without breaking nothing. So that's good. Yeah, these young wide receivers, guys, so many of them, Dane Key. These guys may have a chance to make an impact as practice squad guys that you may need in a year or two to let them keep developing. There's some really exciting guys on this roster bubble. And I would say, especially with that wide receiver room. Let's see. Jonah Coleman, big thing. We already talked about, me and Jay are excited to talk Jonah Ellis and Jonah Coleman. Jonah Coleman should get at least half a game. I want to see him get the first half. Easy. I want to see him get the first half, and I just want to see him go Jonah, because that's all we want to see is Jonah Coleman get the ball. And I'm really excited to see what he can do. Bo's been gushing about him in terms of what he can do. Sean has too. The man's a great, willing blocker out the backfield. The man can catch the ball out the backfield. He's going to be great on some of these inside runs. He's a little bowling ball. I love me some Jonah Coleman. Can't talk highly or more about Jonah Coleman. So excited for Jonah Coleman, guys. Besides that, we're going to talk center depth real quick because we're almost through and we're about to end this live stream, and we're going to put this aside because this is our official first, and this is what the preseason's for, so we can practice this for the regular season. But this is our first pregame preview for Broncos versus Falcons preseason week 1. And we're going to talk center depth. The Broncos are down. Luke Wanberg down. Forsyth. They just had their other guy go down. I'm trying to remember the name, but they just had another guy go down. So now, you got Gavin Ortega stepping up and taking the reps, and then they just signed another guy too. So they're thin. They're very thin guys at offensive line, and specifically at center. That's where they're thin. They're not thin anywhere else. They're thin at center. You got Quinn Myers occasionally taking a little reps, as he likes to say, keeping that tool sharpened, just in case he ever has to use it. So yeah, keep an eye out the center position, see how much it affects this game, and if the other side's if the Falcons are getting some pressure in through that center position, we'll see. And then young tight ends, guys. I want to see some of these young tight ends. We'll see a little bit of Evan Ingram, but again, if we're an Evan Ingram away from not even having really much hope at tight end, and this is why we would love to see. And this is where it's different from like talking inside linebacker versus tight end, because while we hope we can see an inside linebacker, whether it's a young or old, a vet or a rookie, whether we get that from the inside linebacker room, those guys are not going to get to start right away. Whereas if we can get that right away from a rookie, that rookie might get plenty of targets early. And so this is a chance for anyone in that tight end room. If they can step up a lot, you might be able to take some reps from Evan Ingram. Whereas I don't know if there's any taking reps from Alex Singleton and Justin Sternad in that inside linebacker room. But I think there's some reps to be taken from Evan Ingram or Adam Troutman, in my opinion. I want to see if someone can step up. I want to see these guys, have their chance. Maybe they'll look like rookies. Maybe you just will see what standard production out of that and nothing more. But I want to see someone really show up. It would be cool to see Justin Jolly, look good. It would be cool to see Dallin Bentley out there, killing it in the run game and also getting, a pass or two. I'm excited for, these young tight ends too, guys. Yeah, so that's about all, guys. That's what I have on my mind. What I'm keeping an eye out for in this game. Besides that, guys, we'll be back later tonight, 1:30 a.m. Mountain Time. All right, so Saturday at 1:30 a.m. Mountain Time, we'll be back with Jay Weaver, Orange and Blue Network, going to react to this preseason game. And besides that, guys, we're going to make sure that we talk about some Jonah Coleman, of course. We can't help ourselves. Yeah, Pat Bryant will be Cortland Sutton replacement in a few years. Absolutely. That's what I was talking about with Pat is I think that he can easily take Pat's. I mean, he can easily, it won't be this year, but next year, that discussion begins. Who's our starting center week 1? So Sean Payton said that, Sean Payton did say that, he thinks they'll be fine. A lot of these guys have had some, soft tissue injuries. It sounds like he thinks Wattenberg will be fine. I'm leaning Wattenberg will probably be your starting center. We'll just have to keep paying attention and staying, we'll be patient with what Sean Payton puts out there. We got at least another 2 weeks. So, we got this game tomorrow, and then we still have 2 more preseason games. If I had it my way, if it's that bad with Wattenberg, but you think he can be ready for week 1, just don't play him at all. It makes no sense. Bo, you do want to get him some reps. And it sounds like he's not this week on the turf, which is great because you don't want him coming back from a broken foot and immediately jumping on a turf. No. So they're going to let Bo get some reps against the Packers next week, which is on your own environment. You can control that with grass. Yeah, the belly, Nay gave, they did give the belly some run at center. They did give him some run. And as Quinn Miner said, he likes to keep that tool sharpened. He does that every once in a while just to keep the tool sharpened. He also did talk about how it's cool for an offensive lineman to be able to have that perspective, whether you're a guard or a tackle, to know the perspective of a center because you know all the assignments, you know how to call out the mic, you know all that stuff. So that's very cool and very exciting. I'm excited for these young guys on the O-line too. You got Cage Casey. Excited for that because the man was a big draft pick. He's a big guy, so he is a big draft pick because he's huge. So I'm excited to see Cage Casey as well. If anyone else has any more questions, feel free to drop them in. I'll stick around for another 5-10 more minutes if you want to ask a few more questions. Besides that, we normally do a show Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Still Up Sports, and that's our late night sports talk show. And we may have some guests lined up for some of those coming up soon. Besides that, we do watch alongs for all kinds of sports, whether it's UFC. We will be doing a UFC watch along on Saturday. If this Broncos preseason game was on Saturday, I'd be reacting to that. But it's on Friday, and I'll be at work. So you're getting my preview now, and then you'll get my reaction after the game. But we'll be ready for when the season starts. All these regular season games will be here for live watch-alongs and reactions. But yeah, guys, so if you got any comments or questions, let me know on Cody Chapa with Still Up Sports. We're at 136 right here. We are on YouTube. We got some cool stuff. I love this playlist. I'm actually pretty proud of it. The late night vibes with Still Up Sports. It's just the background, the studio background right here. Like I just can pull it off, but it's with some cool little music. I drop one every week. I'm dropping one tomorrow. Besides that, we have all kinds of cool stuff. You see right here the UFC watch parties. So we do UFC watch parties as well. We do watch parties to every sport that we're able to stream for on Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. So while we're not streaming the preseason games, during the preseason games, we will be streaming every regular season game, minus the games we're physically at. And besides that, we'll be getting plenty of content and gathering content for you guys. So we got like our full talk every 2 weeks. We got a Chargers guy and a Raider guy. We talk with them once every 2 weeks, and then they'll come on our shows. We go on each other's shows when we have these matchups. All right, guys. Any more comments, questions? Because if not, we will work our way out of here. Besides that, guys, we did some 24-hour streams. We got known as the guy who did 24-hour streams. We did like 4 of those in the off season. We'll get back to those in the future. But right now, we're just trying to keep really pushing this idea of late night sports talk, getting these interviews, putting out these late night sports vibes for you guys so you can listen to the background music and enjoy yourselves. And, always doing different watch parties. So soon we'll have more and more different playlists up here. You just got to stay tuned. I'm a young, small creator, so we're trying to get better every day. But yeah, guys, if you have any comments, questions, last chance, because if not, I'm out of here. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, at Still Up Sports, every platform, guys, at Still Up Sports, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. We're on every one of those. So check them out, guys. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And go Broncos and go get that win, right?